All right, so we're going to do another walkabout. This is a side of the St. Regis, and on the west side of the building, and we have a really nice little place where you could cook some hot dogs and things of that kind along here. And then we have this exit gate here. A lot of people brought in by helicopter to Barnes Jewish here near the St. Regis. There's a helicopter coming in for landing on top of one of the hospital buildings. Okay, here we are again in the corner of Kingshighway and Lindell, and we're going to take a walk down to the Missouri History Museum. I'm going to walk along in the grass here. I think it's about a mile. I like to walk off the beaten path. See a lot more that way. There's a bunch of birds here having their supper, I guess. Looks like a bunch of starlings. There they are up in the tree now, afraid of me, I guess. Well, they're waiting for me to go by, and then they'll come back down. Get in closer to any of them. Well, I guess I can't here. All right, so keep going along. All right, so I took a little break there from the camera work just to get over here closer to Lindell. And as I said, walking from Kingshighway down Lindell. I wanted to show you some of the amazing mansions that are along Lindell Boulevard. And so I'm going to walk over a little bit closer to the road. You're going to hear a lot of traffic, and now we're hearing another helicopter up there. I'll show you that one. Get up there. He's going toward the hospital or out into the country to pick somebody up. So here's some of the mansions along the highway, along Lindell. Now, speed limit along Lindell is supposed to be 25 miles an hour. Not many people, unfortunately, are obeying that. So be really careful. You don't want to step out in the street along here. But as we go along, we can see some superior architecture. Zoom in on some of the detail on some of these mansions. Take a look at the detail that's there. There's a statue. It's a part of that mansion there. We'll zoom in on it. I'm not sure the significance of it. There's a good picture of it there. The bad part about the walk along Lindell, if you get real close to the road, a lot of traffic noise. And I prefer walking a little bit further in, away from the road. But to get some good shots of these mansions, I thought I'd at least for a little while come over here. Let's take a look at this one here. And so that's 5145 Lindell Boulevard. It's got a cornucopia up there. And some big planters. There's a tree that got chopped down right near the road, big oak tree. And over here is that duck pond that I frequented with my little dog. She liked chasing the ducks back in the water, but when she tried to chase the geese, they turned around and chased her back to me. Some more trees that have been chopped down. There's some ducks out here. I brought some bread. Now I might be able to get them to come over closer. Now there they are. So let me go ahead and break out the bread that I've got and see what happens. I'm gonna get the bread. Let's see if I can get a piece of it out of here. There we go. I'm going to see what happens when I throw it over to him. Here you go. Yeah, they're coming. Look at that. There they come. I get there before it sinks. They're slowing down now. I don't think they see it. Come on. Now they're getting closer. They're smelling it or something. There it is. Yeah, it's picking it up. There they go. Now they're wanting some more. Let me see if I can get some more out. Here's some more bread for you. I got some more. Here you go. I'm going to throw you a big piece this time. Here you go. Looks like just one of them's eating there. The other one's watch out, look out or something, I guess. That's all I got. So now we're going to walk back over toward the mansions a little bit. This one here is so encumbered by foliage in the front of it in the spring and the summer you can hardly see it. But I think it's one of the oldest ones. Let's take a close look at it. But probably one of the most ornate is this next one here. What's nice is that these mansions have got a really nice view of the pond here and all the animals. And let's take a look at some of the art on this one. Zoom back in on it. Look at the chimney up there. Way up high. Such detail. We'll come down. Look at this hole there. On top of the turret. There's some more detail there. And then the front door. You walk in there, you got a couple of planters. Detail there. Alright. Now this next one over was a house that belonged to a friend of mine and his family. And I had the opportunity to go in there one time when they were having an estate sale. It's a beautiful home. It's been sold, but the people that bought it haven't really started living there or fixing it up yet. It's been about a year or two, so you can take a look at some of the detail in this one. See, it needs a little bit of work. 5225 Lindell. Really nice mansion there. So now we're heading down for Union is the next intersection up here, and I'll have to cross over. And there's a house there that I think you can rent it for various events, but it's a pretty historic building. Get up closer, we'll see it. And it's right in Forest Park too. It's like these are along Forest Park on Lindell, but this mansion is right inside of Forest Park. No one lives in it anymore, but it's built on this side of Lindell, and there are no other houses that I know of that I've ever seen on this side of Lindell from Kingshighway. So, all right, so now we're approaching Union Road. This is Lindell still. And I'm going to cross over to show you that mansion that's built, the only house on this side of Lindell from Kingshighway all the way to Skinker Boulevard. Sorry about that noise. Some people like to be known that they're around, you know. So now this is a little tricky crossing. They don't have a they have a crosswalk, but so there are cars that are going to be turning on me, probably. I should be able to get across though. And then this is the mansion I've been talking about over here. Sun's up there. I'll try to get that glare out of the camera eye here in a little bit. Well, we can walk up to it, take a look at it. This is just so you know where we're at. There's that 100 Kingshighway building, and then Barnes Jewish is way over there. So let's kind of get you oriented. So now we can walk up to this mansion here, take a closer look at it, then we'll head down to the History Museum. It's called the Cabanne House. Cabanne House is what it's called, and it's a pretty amazing structure too. I'm not sure how old it is, but we'll get in here and zoom in a little bit on some of the detail. Really tall, narrow windows, and it's got a stained glass window there. Ambassadors, it says, and nice light. And then the big doors. Go around this side of it. We got bars on the basement windows. So get around the back door here, and See the windows they've got. And over here, fire escape up there. And something shiny right there in the corner. Let me see if I can see what that is. That looks like copper. Yeah, it's copper along there somehow, along the slate roof. Well, anyway, that's the Cabanne House. And we'll keep going now down toward the History Museum. Give you an idea where we're at. So the History Museum now is down by Debalievere. That will be the next street that we get to. And once again, I got to watch it that I don't get run over by a bike or something. So I try to stay off the beaten path. Some of the bicycle guys can get going pretty fast. So I'm going to just walk through the grass here and along the way. And unless I see something, I'm going to turn off the video. I'll turn it back on again. So here I am still along Lindell. I'm going to walk back away from Lindell, though, toward a cannon that's up here. That was captured, I think, in the Spanish-American War. And it's up to the top of this hill. Get in closer to it, get you to see it. Sorry about the sun shining in here. Give a little shade here. There we go. Yeah, we're getting up there now. So it is a little bit of a hike up a hill away from Lindell. If you want to see it, you can see here's Lindell over here. And then up this hill, and here's that cannon. We'll get the information on it when we get up there. You'll see it now. Yeah, there it is. We're getting there. Flock of starlings, I think, over there. Anyway, here's the cannon, and let's take a look at the plaque first, see what it says here about it. I'll get in here and zoom in a little bit. So the El Examinador, the inspector, means number 1197. Cast at the Royal Artillery Foundry in Seville, Spain, March 31st of 1733, during the reign of Carlos III, was turned over into the United States Army at Santiago, Cuba, following the Spanish-American War of 1898. Presented to the city of St. Louis, Missouri in 1900. So this was here during the World's Fair in 1904. I could have come over and taken a look at it. Let's take a closer look at this amazing decoration on the cannon. So we can go along here, see what it's got a crown, and there's the third, Carlos III, I guess. Go up here. There's a couple handles. I guess a couple men would have to angle it to aim it. And then come down the barrel. Looks like there's something else. Here it is. Yeah. The name of the cannon. And then let's take a look in the barrel. Hope it's not loaded here. There's the barrel. We'll zoom in on it. I don't know. Let's see. Bunch of junk in there. Zooming in on the barrel there. People have thrown things in there, I guess. But that's the way it looks now. Take a picture of it. And move over, take another picture. Get back canon from a long time ago. So now we're still heading over toward the History Museum from that canon. This will give you a good idea if I keep the video on for a little bit. We still got a ways to go along Lindell, and I say walk off the beaten path here to see things like that. And we'll get up here. I'm going to turn the video off for a little bit. There's nothing here to talk about for a while. Someone playing some kind of game, and they have these little rackets or something. And they got a goalpost there that they were using. Now it looks like they're going to run back home. I think that game they were playing was called cricket. Those are cricket rackets, or whatever you'd call them. Here's Lindell again. I'm going to get back on the beaten path, off the beaten path, on the path, because it's getting a little wet here. So I'm going to walk up here. You can kind of see the History Museum way in the distance here. I'm almost there. Here it is. So we'll see. And I'll turn the video off again for a little bit. Oh, then again, this along Lindell, this was the only building on this side of Union, I think, that toward Debalievere that was standing in 1904. I saw a picture of it here from the photographers in 1904. So that structure was here in 1904. Otherwise, all these others probably, they weren't here. Once again, there's a bench, and these benches in Forest Park, most of them have some kind of a memorial plaque on them. Let's take a look and see who this is dedicated to. And it says, in memory of Marguerite Inglis Conger. It's a nice antique looking bench to sit on there. All right, we keep going toward the History Museum. All right, so we are now approaching the History Museum here at Debalievere. This used to be the main entrance to the 1904 World's Fair. Where I'm walking right now used to be what was called the Model City. The Missouri History Museum, this building was not here. However, King Louis was over to the right of it. That's where he was anchored during the World's Fair. And this was the main entranceway to get into the fairgrounds here at Debalievere. There was a train station there, and there was a tower behind me back over this way, about 600 feet up in the air, and I've got a panorama view of this area that digitized from the Missouri History Research Library, and you can see how different it is if you look on the website. They did put in trolley tracks some time ago here, so there's a trolley that comes in from University City. Not sure how popular it is, but it's there to use if you'd like to come from U City and visit the History Museum. It's a good way to do it. So here we go, walking in. You can see the flags flying high, and we're going to walk in the main entrance here. I'm not sure what their policy is regarding recording in there, so I'm going to be quiet and just point the camera at some of the exhibits and let them speak for themselves, so I don't irritate anybody, or maybe somebody else is talking and they don't want me to talk over them, you know. So some giant pillars, some nice decoration at the top of these. There we go. Oh, and by golly, guess what? It's Monday and it's closed. Yeah, look at that. Tuesday, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I'm out of luck when it comes to going in, but I can kind of get in there and see Thomas Jefferson sitting in his chair there. There he is, old Thomas. And then they do have a display over here on the right, the 1904 fair. You go in there and see a lot of the artifacts from the 1904 fair, but I can't get in, so I'll have to make another walk over here and put this video together with the other. And this is what it looks like from the front steps of the History Museum, looking out on Debalievere Avenue. And again, this was the main entranceway to the World's Fair in 1904. Well, since it's closed, I'll do a little exterior. So the decorations need a little copper cleaner on, I think. But you can see how immense the building is. It was built after the World's Fair by the profits that were made. One of the very few fairs that made any profit. There's the St. Louis city and the state of Missouri flag and the United States flag. So let's go walking back toward home. I'll try to take a different route, make it more interesting for you. I'm going to cut across the lawn here. And there's a pavilion over here, some kind of like a cafe. I'm not sure if it's open either. If it is, we'll go in there on the way back toward the Lindell and Kingshighway. Okay, so I decided to walk along Lindell again, a little closer to these mansions along here, and get some more video of the amazing residences here. You wonder how many people live in these buildings. They've got plenty of room in there, that's for sure. A lot of them have the roof with that tile instead of the slate. They have that kind of tile. And we'll go along here. That's 5625, in case you're wondering. You're looking for a new home, 5625. That's that house. And keep an eye out for any unique things that might be along here. Oh, wait, there's a squirrel. Gotta get the squirrel. He's doing his duty. Where is he? There he is. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. And he's getting some of his acorns. So we go along. And looks like there's a nice sunroom there. Let's take a look, see. Oh yeah, nice sunroom in there. Some really nice chairs. Looks like French style. And you gotta watch out for roller skaters coming along. I didn't hear it coming. No, anyway, here's Lindell 5615. That's what we were looking at there. All right, going along again. This is 5601 Lindell. They got a good guard dog back there. I don't think I'd try to break into that house. He's doing a good job for him. There he is. And let's take a look at this house. They've got a really nice front door, like a cast iron. And they got lions on the porch guarding it, along with their dog. Okay, here we go along. I'm glad he can't get out. I don't think I could run fast enough to keep ahead of him there. Now this one, 5597, it's got some nice brickwork and things, but nothing really decorative on it. They have a door knocker though. Let's see what the door knocker looks like. I can zoom in on that. See what they got. Well, it's kind of like a little hand, knocks on a knob. Pretty cool. The next one here. Don't see any unique features on this one, so to speak, except over the door frame. Let's take a look at that. pineapple or something. Yeah. And that one is 5591. This one's got nothing really fancy to speak of. They have kind of a light there by the door. Let's take a look at that light. That looks interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now here's a more modern looking mansion along here. I don't know what year it was built, but you can see it's got very little decor on the outside, and yet still pretty unique. Take a look at the front door a little bit, and that is 5583. Now here's that one I was telling you that was here in 1904. I saw a picture taken in 1904 when the fair was going on, and this was the only building along here that I can confirm was here in 1904. It's pretty interesting. Let's take a close look at some of the features of it. Some of the rooftop. Got some big shrubs here in front. You got some kind of a, oh, I got a dish here is what they got. Satellite dish. Okay. Oh, what is that thing there? Let's take a close look at that. What is that? I don't know. Someone's going to have to tell me. It's like some kind of farm implement or something. All right, so here we go along. And again, over Forest Park, over on the other side here. This one looks pretty old. Don't have any clue if it was here in 1904. I don't think so. It's 5565. Have a nice balcony up there. Yeah. This one's got a pretty wide yard attached to it. Not sure which building it belongs to, but they've got a big lot here. Very quiet automobile there that went by. And so this one's pretty interesting. Let's take a look at some of the features of it. Go up to the top. And the front door. And this is what is it, 5555? Let me take a look. Move over this way a little bit. Yeah, 5555. This is a more modern one here. Not much decor on the outside of it. They have a nice big flag, St. Louis University flag. Pretty square looking house. Let's see, this is there's a number on this one, 554. There we go, 5545 Lindell. And flags. Now this is really interesting, the way the stone is laid on this building. Take a look at the front door. Look at the stonework on it. Oh yeah, fascinating. And let's see what this one is here. This is 5533. 5533. This one's got a nice curved driveway. Big shamrock on the front door there. We'll take a look at that. Zoom in on it. Well, today is March 6th, so it's getting close to St. Patrick's Day. And this one's address 5505. 5505. There's another older one. But again, I think all these were built after 1904. How much after, I don't know, but look it up, I guess, online. But this one looks pretty interesting. It's got some lights on in that window that look really fascinating, like above the room there somehow. And then this is your front door, 5501. They do have some decor above the door. And a nice drive-through. Instead of a curve, they drive through like that. I like how they got these shrubs here too on the entranceway. Now you got some holly trees here, shining. Their leaves always have that sheen to them, and all the berries that the birds and the squirrels like to eat, I guess. And they do have some flowers. This is the first garden I've seen coming along here with some flowers for us to enjoy. Daffodils and jonquils and so on. Now, this one's got a pretty big yard too. This one is 5399 Lindell. Look at it. Got those 3 windows at the top. Some brickwork there. And the front door. Oh yeah, one thing I like about these, I forget what you call from what tree that is, but boy, you got to watch when you're walking along. You step on a couple of those, they can throw you for a loop. I'm getting up close to Union Road again, Union Boulevard, and so we're getting back toward home. This one's pretty plain vanilla. Pretty, not really any decorations on the outside. But still a nice looking building. That's 5373 Lindell. And now we get into some real modern ones up here near Union Boulevard or Union Road. And once again, not much detail to take a look at on those. I like to zoom in on the front doors though. This is 5357. Pretty modern looking decor there. This one's interesting that it's got a balcony with 3 doors coming out on it. I wonder if they use that very much. What is their view when they come out? I guess right over here there's Forest Park. That's what they're looking at when they get out on their balcony. And they have three doors up there they can come out on. I don't see any chairs up there. So this will be the last mansion on Lindell. Well, that one's 5347, by the way. This is the last mansion on Lindell before we get to Union Boulevard. It's right on the corner, and the Forest Park Parkway comes right behind it, too. So, this guy. Something happened. I guess the police are here. Some kind of accident or something there. But this one is pretty plain Jane too, but still a nice house. Now I'm going to turn off the video for a while because I just got to walk over Union Boulevard before we get to some more mansions. But there's that house we looked at earlier. I did a walk around on it. Cabanne House it's called. Okay, so here we are now crossing over Forest Park Parkway. There's a Metrolink over there. And as we go along here, we're going to come to the crosswalk. We got all these barriers here because people tend to, go wild, I guess. A nice barricade here to block this nice fence area. As you can see, there's Barnes Jewish over there, and there's 100 North Kingshighway. And now I'm going to have to wait to cross over. I could cross over that way, I guess. I might as well. Well, no, I want to get the rest of the mansions in, so we'll go ahead and wait for the light to change. All right, so here we go across Union. Pretty risky, especially if you're not keep your eyes open. Here's a truck wanting to turn on me, but I didn't have a green walk thing. I just came across because it was red the other way. I didn't see that. You should always obey the traffic signs when you're walking along. Ignorance of the traffic signs is no excuse, So here's another mansion along Lindell, right in the corner of Union and Lindell. And you can see the decor on it. Not much special. Now, they used to be able to zoom through here, but they put up some barricades. But I think that this really is for just the people that live in this building. Maybe this one here. So here we go, walking up on Lindell a little bit closer to this mansion. This one is 5277. So that's what that one is. There's something over the door. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, there's a little bit of decor there. Pretty cool. Now a small little house there, really, compared to these others. I mean, it's not small. I mean, it's pretty big, but compared to these big mansions, it's not probably as expensive as the others. Interesting, there's no sidewalk from this sidewalk here all the way up to that front door. And this one is 5267. Huh. Giant tree, fir tree here. Big Christmas tree, I guess. And then nice big driveway, though. Probably the biggest driveway with the smallest house that they had. This one's pretty neat here. It's got like some decoration up at the top there. Come down. Take a look at that. Looks like that one's for sale, actually. Yeah, Mannion. This one is for sale here. Oh, it's 5257. Is that it? Yeah, so if you're interested, 5257. It's got a nice little balcony up there. All right, so keep walking along here. You got to watch the sidewalks too. Notice that big crack in that one? Yeah, when I'm walking along, I might trip on one of those. You might too, so be careful. Now, here's another brick house. It's got an interesting side entrance. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it says 5249. And that's the side entrance. Nice little light there. Like big lawn chairs on the front there. What would they be seeing? Oh, look at this over here. Here's what they got. That pond over there. Yeah, pretty good. So we're coming up the house where my friend used to live. His family lived there. Not this one, but the next one over. This was his next door neighbor. 5235. And you can see the difference in the entranceway here. This is much more modern door. We do have a lion knocker though. And this is the, I know this house was here in 1904. My friend told me that he thinks they used it as like a boarding house where people could live here during the World's Fair. And it was like a little hotel, I guess. And it's pretty ornate. $5225. Here's the number on it. And this is probably the most ornate decor on the outside of the building of all of them. As I've walked along Lindell, it has so much on it. I did show it from across the street earlier. There's a dog there too. He's watching out for the property. He's a good dog. And then anyway, the decor, zoom in on some of it. Up here. There's the geese across the way, so this is what he would see. Growing up, this was his home, and he would see this pond across the street from his bedroom. Nice fountain. I think they have a pool in the back. Here's some more daffodils. And here's this house that gets covered up with foliage in the summer. It's a really nice home. And we can zoom in on some of the architecture. Take a look at it. On the front door. $5207. Nice flowers. I always like the flowers. Now, one of these times I would like to take a walk back into this neighborhood behind here, but they have security guards, and you walk back in there with a camera, and they're pretty adamant that you have to leave, that it's private. And it's a private place. And when they had a protest back in there, the mayor lived back in there, and then there was a big protest about something or other. And one guy was afraid they were going to break down his door or something. And he got a gun out and stood out in front of the house. And then he got in trouble. They took him to trial, but I guess nothing too much happened to him. He didn't shoot anybody, but he was trying to, he said, protect his property against possible damage. And that's one of the houses back in there behind these. And I'm not permitted to go back in there without, somebody in one of the houses saying, yeah, you can come and visit, but I don't know anybody, so I don't think that's going to happen, Now, this is interesting, these gutters that they have. I haven't seen anything like that at all. Let's take a look at these gutters. We'll take a look at the gutters. Water comes out of there and comes down a drain pipe to the ground down there. They got 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them on the front of the property there. That's a 5175. And more flowers. Now we're at 5165. This is a pretty straightforward brick building. Not much to zoom in on. I'll zoom in on the front door. I like to see their knockers they use. Back before the days of doorbells, I guess. There we go. Couple big pillars here at 5145 and a cobblestone driveway. Again, give you a view of across the street. This is a mammoth one here, gigantic house. I showed this one to you when I was walking the other way, but a little bit closer to it now. Take a look at some of the decor on it. Really big house. And a big front door there. Let's zoom in on that. Cornucopias again. Yeah, here was that statue I showed you earlier in the video. So that's where we're back to now. Take a look at it. A little bit closer now. Probably these are the biggest columns I've seen on any of the buildings. Really large. Sorry about all that traffic noise, but that's the way it sounds when you're right on the Lindell sidewalk. I'm going to put my mouth right up near the camera so you can hear me. You know, sometimes I forget that. So, yeah, so here are the biggest pillars on Lindell Boulevard, I think. There's that big skyscraper for 37 stories tall, 100 North Kingshighway. Sure different kind of architecture. Let's take a look at the top of that door. It's pretty interesting. Seems like you should be able to have a rule about how loud your vehicle can be, you know? It sure disturbs the peace, but they don't enforce those laws anymore, I guess. If you lived in the country, they would probably. And then this one, in gigantic chimneys, they even got a brace on that one to hold it in place, and it's got some decor on it too. Really big chimneys. Smokestacks, I guess they call them. 5105. And there is some decor on this one too. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. Interesting. All right, so we're coming up now to what is the last mansion on, I think, I might be wrong, could be next to the last. They got this big fence here. And this is a pretty busy intersection getting in and out of Forest Park. Along Lindell, it's West Pine is what this street is coming in. And then, not sure what all is back in there, but they got it pretty well blocked off. No one's gonna want to climb that fence. Got some sharp spikes on top of it, and some flowers in there. All right, now they have a gate here, but I've never actually seen anybody go in this gate. Here, it's locked. There's a car back there, though, so apparently they do. All right, so here we go. And, yeah, we have two more mansions here on Lindell. I thought there was just one, but there are two right next to each other. And both of these were here in 1904. Well, I take that back. They were both here in the 1910s or so. No, wait, yeah, they were here in 1904. I remember seeing a picture taken of them, and they both were here in 1904 as well. So this one, just a beautiful, beautiful structure. Lots of good exterior decoration on it. Looks like a lion holding, I guess they could put messages in there on both sides. And take a look at the railings up at the top. And there were people standing up there during a parade that came down Lindell for the 1904 fair. There's a robin there walking along. And and this building was there as well. And there were people up on top of it watching the parade come down this street all the way into Forest Park to the World's Fair. This one is 5035. It's pretty plain for being built back then, but it was here. And, and look at this. I thought that was the last two. Nope, there's the third one. This is a more modern one. It's right on the corner of Kingshighway and Lindell. And someone told me it's a bed and breakfast. I don't know for sure if that's true, but it's pretty plain looking. They do have something on the porch. Let's take a look at what that is. Some kind of a, whoa. That looks like it's a guard, something or other. Wow. Anyway, here are these big balls on this fence. Oh yeah, and then one time On one of these, there was a moth that landed there, and I got a picture of it landing right on there, and a still picture of it too, on one of those balls. And pretty nice little fence here. So go along. Giant balls as well, like a cannonball. And there it is. Okay, so that's it. And there's the St. Regis over there, where I came from. I started this walk back, I don't know how long ago. And there's that big old building with 37 stories on it, with no decorations at all, just shiny metal, I guess. And then the Chase Park. These are apartment or condos, I guess, are in there. Yeah, so this is a hotel, and then this is the condos. And then the St. Regis is over there, and the 37-story skyscraper is there. So that's it.